Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and this is for Rushmore Podcast. Look good, feel good, enjoy.
People say we need a theme song, so I wrote a fucking theme song. If you like this fucking theme song, then you'll like the Rushmore Podcast. Rushmore Podcast, Rushmore Podcast, Rushmore Podcast. Fuck you.
We're set up in my garage so we can smoke. I know how much Thomas loves smokers.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
He really went the fuck off on smokers a podcast or two ago, yes.
I think the Celtic was a smoking bar until, what, like 2 years ago?
Too many mics. All right. No, it was a smoking bar until like 2014, I think. The whole city of Pascagoula became non-smoking inside.
We've got a few holdouts here.
Yeah.
Not
East
very many,
Nashville.
though.
No. And I bet after COVID, no. Well,
Broadway Brewhouse.
Oh.
Yep, they're still
yeah.
smoking there.
We were smoking in there.
That's right.
We walked outside to smoke with our drinks, and the server comes out and she's like, "You guys can't drink out here." So we put our cigarettes out and took our beers back in, and then realized that everybody in the bar was
They
smoking.
went to the bathroom. I looked around like, well, there's an ashtray over there. There's another ashtray.
Yeah, that's how you tell
I
now.
smoking at the bar. What the fuck?
There's, I think there's one holdout down here. It's called Lynchburg Landing. It's the only place I've ever seen they have natural light on tap.
I've never even heard
Wow.
of that place.
Yeah, it's in Ocean Springs.
Oh,
But
shit.
you go to the bar and they have matches on the bar. And that's how you know. It's like you got matches and ashtrays. It's like, well, it would be rude not to smoke here.
But what
If they
the
only
Celtic
had-
did.
They need the cans with the pull-off tabs, and you'd have something there.
For real, dude.
So the Celtic was getting a lot of shit for becoming a non-smoking bar. So what he finally did this past few months really was he built a deck outside where you can smoke, but he got it approved by ABC so you can drink out there too.
Oh.
So you can drink and smoke outside on the deck.
That's right.
As if people weren't already fucking
Yeah.
Like I also sometimes I'll go in there. Well, I probably shouldn't say this on a podcast, but sometimes I'll go in there and get a beer and then just be like, all right, I got one for the ride home,
Yeah.
and then just drop off.
I've heard the words "Can I get a to-go beer?"
Yeah.
more than 50 times today.
Oops.
Yeah, I can remember playing at Pittsburgh. You used to not be able to buy beer anywhere but state stores. You couldn't buy them at gas
Oh my
stations
God.
anywhere. But the bars there, you'd play and at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, can I get a case of Iron City to go? And they just roll it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes they give you ice.
Yeah,
But
that's
how
like
stupid is that? You can't buy it
Alabama.
at a gas station.
Yeah. Well, down here, so I grew up in Georgia where it was just, fucking normal. Down here, you can't sell beer in a liquor store. You can't sell cigarettes in a liquor store. If you want beer and cigarettes, you got to go to a gas station. But at a gas station, you can't sell liquor or anything like that. And then Alabama takes it a step further, like you were talking about, where all the liquor stores are all state run. It's called ABC.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you can't buy beer and liquor in the same spot here either. It's two separate licenses, basically.
Yeah.
So people pick one or the other. It's a shakedown is what it is.
We just got wine in grocery stores maybe 5 years ago.
That's
Yeah.
wild. The first time I went to New Orleans, we stopped at a supermarket for something.
Yeah.
And my buddy was like, "Hey, come here, check this out." And it was just a liquor store aisle, and I was like, "Oh my God, I've never seen a place that sells cantaloupe and Jack Daniels at the same place. It's incredible."
Dude, New Orleans was the first to-go drink I ever took. And I was like,
Yeah.
you're allowed to, like, come on, let's go to another bar. I'm like, dude, I got half a whiskey left. They're like, get a fucking plastic cup. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I spilled it on a cop as soon as I walked out the door, spilled it right on his shoes, and he just looked up at me. He's like, "You having a good time, buddy?" I'm like, yeah. He's
Yeah,
like,
we'll say, yeah,
he said, of
cops will,
course, that was a white guy. If I was a black dude, he probably would beat me down.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, cops will stop you in New Orleans and be like, "You don't have a drink, you pussy."
Yeah.
I'm taking you to jail.
Exactly. They're like Germans down there. They learn to drink at a very, very young age.
Yeah.
Pepper loves Germans.
What?
Hey, I'm of German descent, I believe.
You love Hitler too.
You're
No.
He's misunderstood.
Yeah.
okay.
Hitler?
There we
Hitler is
go.
misunderstood?
I've been watching the Tony Hinchcliffe stuff. I'm just trying to get canceled. Get out in front of it.
I think we're fine. I think
He started off as just an innocent little baby.
Yeah, he's good at. I saw Paul Harvey rest of the story. Not saw, heard many, many years ago. But apparently, he set it up a big time, a long story. But apparently, Hitler's mom was going to have an abortion, and decided against. I can't remember how, but that was, and who knows if that's
who
true.
knows if that's true.
But it was Paul Harvey.
I heard that Mary was going to have an abortion and
Well,
luckily didn't.
it's like that T-shirt said, "Mary was a virgin if you don't count anal."
Oh, is that like is that band merch?
Mom, I need you to turn this podcast off now. Mom, do not
No,
listen.
there was a T-shirt hell way back in the early internet days that had horrific T-shirts like that.
Yeah. There is a podcast called Come Town, and the main guy makes
Free plug.
T-shirts like that. And my favorite, he's got a Chris Benoit T-shirt, and it is like the album cover for Ride the Lightning, except the electric chair is replaced with a Bowflex, and it says like Ride the Bowflex or something like that, and it says Benoit on the Metallica font. He's got way worser ones. He's got a couple ones.
Worser? I don't know if we could let that slide.
Yeah.
Just quite yet. Let's just
We
say-
might have to start. Let's start this thing over. Worser?
Hey, welcome to Music.
The name of the episode. Worser.
But yeah.
I had a good thought and it went away.
Oh, no.
Wow. Anyway,
on.
thanks guys for having us on, and she gave it a shot.
Welcome to Music is Funny and Rushmore podcast this week. I'm Raelyn Nelson.
And I'm Jonathan Bright from the Raelyn Nelson Band.
Hey, welcome to the Rushmore Podcast. My name is Pepper.
My name's Thomas.
It's a podcast where we take our Mount Rushmore of any given topic, and then we also we talk to comedians about stuff, and we compare
And
comedy
musicians.
and music. Yeah, and musicians.
Yeah, we talk about music and comedy. We're musicians and comedians talking music and comedy.
And
We
to be
talk
fair,
about-
This is going good.
We talk more comedy than music. They start talking music. We're like, yeah, whatever.
I know,
We
we're
hear
like,
about music all the time. We really want to talk about comedy.
So what did you guys grow up listening to? Just flip the script on you.
Casual, or yeah.
Really? Are we doing this really? Oh wait, I wanted to ask you. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Thomas, I want you to tell JB about your recent criminal past.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
Oh, fantastic.
all right. Well, can I legally say this? This
okay.
is my attorney. Over
Well,
here.
here we go. I'll say right off the bat, I think this is already overhyped.
Yeah. You know what I think would be a better idea? I'd like to hear Pepper retell the story.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I got a text from our mutual police officer friend that just said Thomas is arrested, and I was like, oh God. And I asked him a question, car stuff, because Thomas is notoriously lazy and just straight up negligent with his like registration, insurance, driver's license, all the stuff you need to drive legally.
Yeah, by negligence, he means I have none of those things.
And I knew Thomas was also working at a bar that night. So
The world famous Celtic Irish pub.
in Pascagoula, Mississippi, I asked if it was DUI and got no response. So I asked his brother what happened, and he said he was going to pick up Tommy at jail. And he proceeded to send me a very cute picture of Thomas getting booked.
I need to get that picture because Raelyn, we were talking about posting that mugshot as like a promotional piece, and I didn't get a mugshot. Like they took the mugshot of me, but they didn't post it anywhere because they never transported me to the actual jail. I just stayed at the police station, and they post it publicly whenever you're in the jail, but they don't do it just at the police station. So I didn't get a copy, but I do have the picture that my brother took of me rudely from across the police station while I was being questioned.
But I mean, long story short is, I mean, that's pretty much it. He got off because he's white, with just a slap on the wrist and don't do it again. And
What color was the police officer?
He was the whitest. He looked like Bill Goldberg. He was the whitest guy of all time.
he's like a special ops army guy too.
Oh yeah, he told me. Yeah.
So did you get pulled over for drinking and driving? Is that
No,
what
I've no.
we never got to the charge here.
I know.
Oh,
it's
okay.
intense,
He pulled
right?
me-
It's suspenseful.
Well, he pulled me over for going 36 and a 30. I was afterwards told by our mutual police officer friend that that officer does not have a radar. He had no way of knowing how fast I was going. And you're supposed to follow behind for a mile in this city before you clock their speed, like pacing them. He did not do that. So he was like, that seems really strange.
He should be arrested.
When he wrote the 36 and a 30 on on my actual ticket that I got, it's just scribble. You cannot make out the numbers. But that's not what I got arrested for.
lawsuit.
It's what I got pulled over for. I got arrested for no insurance, suspended license, and missing a court date on no insurance. So it was a failure to appear is what I actually got booked for, which is in their defense. That's
So
fair.
this is what we're doing.
That's okay.
This is,
Was there a second failure to appear in your future here?
Oh yeah. So about that, Pascagoula Police Department, if you're listening right now, my court date, that's not going to work for me. I think I'm going to be out of state, and I mean that sincerely. I don't know that I'm going to
he's
be
moving
here.
to Austin like every other.
Well, I
comedian.
think generally law enforcement in general, they don't have a problem if you are charged with something. If you just want to leave the state and run around somewhere, they generally don't have a problem with that.
well, here's the thing.
You'll be fine.
Pascagoula, I'm pretty
You'll
sure
be fine.
Pascagoula is Mississippi. I'm pretty sure all their records are still on like fucking papyrus or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they have a fax machine
Yeah.
to send
Microfiche.
Yeah, I don't think they're communicating interstate with unless it's something like murder. or
Yeah, to be
something.
fair, I told this to another police officer around here, not our mutual friend, but another police officer. I was like, "Yeah, dude, there's no way I'm going to be in town that day." And he was like, "Oh, well, probably handle that first, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, probably that's probably a good idea."
But this is what this is how boring we are. That like Thomas gets pulled over for a fucking
We're
like
going
no
36
insurance.
miles per hour.
and it's like
We're
it's like,
this
oh,
is the story that makes the round.
this is the most interesting thing that's happened to us in like a year and a half.
Yeah, Pepper's literally killed people. We don't even talk
No,
about that.
that's not true.
All right.
Thomas is a gangster, obviously.
I did feel a little bit like one.
You don't have the paperwork, man. You don't mess around with that shit.
Yeah. What
I
is
mean,
paperwork? They should have
it's-
all that information. We should be able to store it in our phones.
It's so crazy that Thomas has been to jail twice,
Yeah.
and I've never been to jail. I've never even been in the back of a cop car. I don't know what they smell like.
Okay. Well, all right. So to clear the air there, I've been to jail 3 times, but I have only been in the back of a cop car once.
Okay. But just our reputation and knowing like what I do versus what you do,
Yeah, you cut
it
grass.
is wild.
Yeah.
All the things that I've gotten away with.
Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm a fucking good boy.
Yeah.
I'm a good boy
But
With
hey,
a
man,
criminal record.
with a criminal right. Yeah, they're like, you haven't made a payment to us since 2014. I was like, I didn't think I did then. I didn't know I ever made a payment. That's great. Somebody put money on my books.
Yeah.
So what did you go to jail for the first couple times?
Oh, same shit. Well, I went to
Why
yeah. I
would you
mean,
just get your fucking license?
bro, I owe them so much money now. That's
He could-
very difficult to do.
Yeah, he could buy a car with all the money that he
I
owes.
could buy if they're used, I could buy 2 of them.
Yeah.
But no, the first one was same shit for no license, no insurance. Second one was for leaving the scene of an accident where I got in a wreck in the middle of the night on the way to work.
Please tell that full story.
Okay. So I wrecked into a bank sign at 3:30 in the morning. I fell asleep driving. I was driving a 95 Camaro, which is very low. So I hit the
And very
bricks.
badass.
Oh yeah, it was a great
pretty
fucking
sick.
car. I hit the brick like underlay of this bank sign. First Federal Pascagoula shout out. I knocked the bricks out with my vehicle. I don't know how fast I was going because I was asleep, but probably pretty fast.
Probably
Um,
36 at least.
Yeah.
At least, yeah. And I knocked the bricks out. The sign fell on top of my car, so the car is completely smushed. It's totaled. I
Did you
wake up
die?
to
Were
it.
you okay?
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, did you just ask him if he died?
Well, sometimes people die in car accidents and come back.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is, you know what? That might have happened. This might all be a fucking dream right here. But I
Right?
got
All of
up. My car was definitely dead. My phone was dead. So this was my train of thought was the police station is 1 street over, right?
Yeah.
On this bank street.
It's probably a little over a quarter mile away.
Maybe walking distance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's 3:30 in the morning. There's no one on this road. I'm probably concussed. My phone is completely dead. There's no one around. I'm just going to walk to the police station. They'll help me. I walk into the police station and I was like, hey guys, I just got in a wreck or something along those lines. And they go on Jackson Avenue. And I was like, oh yeah. And they're like, yeah, our guys are already there now. They booked me for leaving the scene of an accident, a 1-person accident where I walked to the police for fucking help. They booked
And
me.
you
for
were
that.
sober?
I think.
Or just sleeping?
Yes,
How did-
I was. I was on the way to work on that wreck. That's yeah.
That doesn't mean
that's-
you're
that's what I was
sober.
going- All right. Well, I was not awake long.
You at that time you had a job that you could be completely drunk at. That's
Sure.
when you're doing
yeah,
security.
yeah, I was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have to be fucking
I was
sober to do security.
I was a contraband officer at a refinery. So yeah, I was probably drunk.
And I guess to be fair, you make that choice to go see the cops either if you're completely sober or if you're completely shit faced. Somewhere in the middle, you're like, I'm not going to go to the cops, but either of the
But
extremes,
I would much
you're
rather
making the
go.
wall.
Yeah, if I'm shit faced, I'd much rather go to the cops than them come to me.
It's a good point.
Seems like a better idea. And I didn't
had
get a
a-
DUI, so
I had a buddy that did the same thing, Paulie, one of our drummers, one of our thousands of drummers, old friend, but he was driving a van way back in the day, and the interstate split, and he was shit faced and just ran into the middle, fan blow,
Is
fucked
that
up.
before they put the barrels full of water on shit like that?
Yeah, it's kind of like it just split, and he this was in the fucking late 80s or early 90s.
Yeah.
Anyway, hits a tree and walks across the interstate and kind of finds his way or trying to get his way back home.
Yeah.
Then he's sitting around, and he's starting to feel guilty and shit and blah, blah, blah. So he just walks back to the scene of the accident, and there's cops everywhere, and he just kind of walks up and he's like, "Officer, I believe you're looking for me."
yeah.
And he's like, "Son, I appreciate you." I mean, they booked him. He went to jail, but he's like, "I appreciate your honesty and coming back. Well,
I appreciate your
you fucked up."
I've
Yeah.
always thought that in a situation like that, just claim, and it probably wouldn't be a lie. Just claim that you have a concussion and you didn't know what was going on.
Well, that's probably what was happening with
Yeah,
me.
that's probably what happened to his buddy too.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it was the worst.
He had a cocaine concussion. All
Yeah.
that went straight up to his nose and bruised his brain.
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend picked me up from jail that morning and was like, "How late were you at the bar?" I'm like, "I don't even know what happened in the last 3 hours. I have no fucking clue."
Yeah, the only time I went to jail, I got a DUI, which got knocked down to reckless driving, but I really wasn't even that drunk, and it was in the
Who
middle
did
of the
you
day.
blow to make that happen?
He's
I had a
white.
few friends. Yeah.
He's
few
a white
friends.
guy.
I had to blow 3 friends.
Yeah, sheriff's deputy, and no, but yeah, it was a drag. Just a drunk tank alone let me know. I was like, I don't think I ever want to spend any hard time in jail.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
seen-
amazingly never gotten a DUI.
yeah, that is crazy. Too.
That's
Well, I got out of about, to be fair, at least 6 of them where I was hammered and talked my way through. So, and ironically enough, this one I passed all of the field sobriety tests. He just knew there was a van full of people drunk.
Oh, yeah.
He just knew.
I've probably gotten out of at least 6 of them as well. We've told almost all of the stories on the show, but I am very good. And I would say 80% of that is just knowing how to fucking talk to cops.
Dude, I got out of one in Mississippi. We were driving back this old band. It's probably 1989. We were driving back from Oxford, played a gig, and me and our guitar player would always just get drunk, like, fuck it, let's drive back. So it was probably 2:00 in the morning. I had a beer between my feet. I can't remember what this it might have been Holly Springs. But we got pulled over, and this cop, we had weed. I had a joint behind my ear that I just kind of threw my hair over. But he was just like, he's like, "Son, why I pulled you over?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, you're doing 40 and a 30. I'm like, "I'm sorry, man. We're just trying to get back to Nashville." He's like, "They got speed limits there?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." They enforce them? Yes, sir. We do here too.
what a
He walked back to
Mississippi
his
thing to
cop
say.
car. Yeah, but he came back and said, "You guys be careful and let us go." Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
When we played a gig in Arkansas, left and was in the middle of nowhere. It
was up in the mountains.
Yeah, up in the mountains in the sticks. In the mountains. There's 6 up there. And we were on our way back, and there was a fucking roadblock. I mean, they were just stopping
to
everybody.
be fair, we talked our way into that one because at the top of the mountain, first of all, we heard you couldn't take weed into this music festival that we were playing, which was once we got there.
And
we're like,
honestly, I would never, ever, ever follow that rule. But for some reason, I did that day.
yeah, none of us did. We're like, you know what? Well, the hotel's right down.
Yeah, I
there.
mean it's a fucking music festival. It's not Singapore.
But they were like, we're gonna be searching coolers and all that shit. So
Yeah,
we left
they
it.
told us a few times, and it just made me nervous. So, but then when we pull up, the guy who was searching goes, "Okay, I'm gonna search," and he looks in, just looks into the van, and he goes, "Okay, ha."
So we were mad about that to begin with, but we would have been smoking weed in the van all the way down the hill. But we were regaling ourselves with old DUI stories. And me and the drummer at the time were talking about it, and Preach, our bass player, were like, "You're next, buddy." And it's sure enough, we fucking get to the bottom of the hill, and there's a fucking roadblock there. And I'm like, "Oh, God damn it." Same thing, beer in the console.
Yeah, we had 2 beers in the console.
Yeah.
He got my license and walked back. I'm already preparing my speech. I'm like, all right, I'll yes sir him to death. I'm not that drunk. I think we're going to be fine. He literally just came back and handed us our license. He's like, all right, go on. I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah,
just
they
happened
didn't
there?
have good beer or weed. You know, we barely had any weed. But we did meet the guy from The Simple Life that said,
Paris Hilton and
Nikki Richie,
Nikki.
Nicole Richie.
Nicole Richie. Remember the old guy that went, well, good Lord.
and we didn't remember him either. I had to Google
Yeah,
it.
we Googled it. But there was one particular episode where they went to
But he
wherever
gave
we were
us
playing.
weed. He walked up. He was like, my claim to fame is I was on Simple Life.
No, he said, yeah, I'm so-and-so. You might know me from
Oh, yeah, you might know.
The Simple Life. I'm like, no. And then he said the good Lord thing, and we're like,
I think I
seems
kind of seen
vaguely
that on
familiar.
Talk Soup or something. Or
Yeah.
That's what it was.
yeah.
Then we
Talk
Googled
Soup.
and like, well, we found the one celebrity.
Yeah,
There
he did
is
talk us out.
there is absolutely no worse feeling than riding dirty and like coming over a hill and seeing a fucking roadblock. I
And
mean,
out of state, when you're out of state and
oh,
don't
that's
know.
even worse.
Oof.
I wish you could bottle that feeling and sell it for $200.
Yeah, it'll get you going because once you, and the best feeling is when you get through the other side and you're like, holy shit, we made it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What's wild is I've been an illegal driver since I was 17.
Yeah.
So for 11 years, 12 years.
How
And
long? I got a
11
question.
years?
I got
Yeah.
a question.
Sure.
How long were you driving with like all your legal shit?
From 16 to 17.
So what? 12 months.
Yeah. So I got a couple tickets my first year driving. I just never went to court on those. And then it just kind of spiraled.
Okay.
But my point was, I've at least been through 15, 20 roadblocks since then. I've never had a problem at a roadblock. I've been through every single one. Now, there have been hundreds I've avoided purposely, but the
Yeah.
ones that I've went through, I've gotten to the other side of every one of them because I've learned that if you're just honest with them, like, oh, hey, well, not, I guess not honest. If you're lying, but you're deceptively convincing,
Yeah.
then, so if you're like,
You
oh,
lie well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but like you just say three things. One, I left my shit at home. Two, I'm sorry, Mr. Officer, sir. And three, I'm white. Then they're like, hey, come on through. We don't have time to run your fucking social security number. We have a line
No,
behind you.
They're
So,
like, there's a
moving.
black guy behind you.
yeah, I mean,
He's
it's
about to get real
awful.
mouthy. So.
Yeah, it's terrible. But it is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And it's worked out.
Well, I'm so glad that we've all grown up and we don't drive drunk or do anything illegal anymore. It's great.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
we can put that on a permanent record right here.
Yeah, we don't do that.
And everybody listening should definitely take our lead. Don't drive drunk. You can drive high, I guess. And get all your license and registration stuff taken care of.
Yeah. Get a license.
Yeah, but to be fair, I bet Thomas, if you think about the money he saved over all these years, I bet if you did the
damn it,
math,
baby.
even if he paid off his bills right now, he's probably ahead of the game.
I was gonna say the only words that came to mind whenever he said that, literally the only thing that came to my brain was waste of goddamn money. Because if you look at it like the big picture, 11 years and I've had 3 run-ins.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, who's the most punk rock person of this foursome right here? I'm going to have to say Thomas when it comes to driving.
I mean,
guys.
I had 21 speeding tickets though. How many speeding tickets have y'all had? 21.
Well, considering that my tab with the police department is over 10 grand, I'm gonna say I've had 22.
But here's
or
the thing.
10 really big ones.
Like
Yeah.
we don't have like crazy aggressive cops down here because I've never been pulled over down here
Okay.
because
Wow.
I
Right.
abide by the traffic laws.
We agree to
right.
disagree.
The only tickets that I've ever got, I got a parking ticket in Columbus, Georgia for some bullshit. And then I got a failure to maintain lane because I Dukes a Hazard jumped a 2002 Chevy Cavalier over like a ditch because I fell asleep because I was up all night dry humping some chick.
Well, that cop was just being a dick at that point.
Dry
I mean, you gotta
humping's
let that
over-
one slide.
Yeah, I
Dry
was
humping's underrated.
17 and
It was his daughter.
yeah,
It was the cop's daughter.
but yeah, I
Yeah,
got
if you
a
just
failure
say
to
the word
maintain
dry humping in when you're talking to a cop, that should get you out of any ticket.
for sure.
You would
dude.
think.
It's like you're not in a right state of mind, dude.
We
You've
did that at the academy.
You've been tortured for 4 hours.
Right. I'm surprised you can still work the pedals.
The last time I got pulled over, I was going through the local mall. So it was 25 miles an hour, and I knew I wasn't speeding. But the cop was coming this way, and he immediately just turned around and put his flashers on behind me. And I had been smoking weed in there. I had been drinking, but I pulled over, and he walks up. He said, "Hey, have you been smoking?" And I was like, "Just cigarettes," and pulled up my
Yeah.
cigarettes. I had already started lighting one and smoking one, so it wouldn't smell like weed in there and just
Yeah,
smell
yeah.
like cigarettes. He said, "You know why I pulled you over?" I'm like, "Nope." He said, "Well, you have a headlight out." And I was like, "I do?" And he goes, "Yeah, you want to get out and look at it?" And I had my one hitter and stuff kind of tucked in like underneath me.
Yeah.
So when I
Underneath you?
like literally stuck it underneath my
Inside of
vagina.
yourself? Oh.
Like underneath my butt, just in the seat. Not in my pants though.
Oh, gotcha.
I should have put it in my vagina. It would have
burned.
Yeah, because as soon as I stepped out, it fell. But luckily, it
Out of your vagina?
out of my vagina. It fell out of my vagina into the car, and it just so happened to not fall onto the ground. Because if it had fallen onto the ground, he would have seen it. And heard it. Yeah. So it just fell into the car, and I just shut the door and walked to the front. I was like, "Oh, I think I have a bulb in my glove compartment." I was like, "Do you think you could help me?" And he goes, "No,
What a dick.
no."
But hey, luckily for you, because you would have opened that glove compartment and there would have been an ounce and a half of fucking weed in there. He was like, oh shit.
I got pulled over one time rolling through a stop sign. I knew it was right where I lived off of Lindsley, and this cop pulls me over. And I was like, fuck, I rolled through that one. So he pulls up, and it's like he's getting at the end of his shift or something. But his opening line to me was, "What kind of driving do you call that?" And I'm like, I don't know how to answer that. I was like, I rolled through the stop sign. He's already angry at me for.
Yeah, how do you answer that?
It's a no-win question.
Yeah.
What kind of driving do you call that?
I'm white.
Yeah.
Actually, the cop was black, so that wasn't going to work either.
Oh yeah. The one that pulled me over was black too.
I've
Yeah.
never been pulled over by a black officer.
Funny enough, I was at a gas station. This is right after the George Floyd stuff. So this is like probably 2 weeks after, maybe. I was at a gas station, and there is a African-American Moss Point cop that I've seen plenty of times. And he just started talking to me out of nowhere while I'm trying to eat lunch. And he was very interestingly talking to me about how George Floyd was a meth head and a piece of shit, and like kind of, with more words, saying that like he kind of deserved it. And I was like, okay, officer, oh, that's a very hot take, I guess.
We were playing golf, and I love playing golf, and I hate everything about it other than the playing of golf. So me and like two other stoner buddies of mine are playing. We get to the back nine, and this guy comes walking up. And he just looks at our one buddy who's got a cart by himself, and he's like, "I ride with you, play the back nine." And he's like, we're like, grass, gas, or ass, man, no free rides. But turns out this guy's a cop.
Wait a minute. What did you just say?
That's an old 70s thing. Never mind.
Wait, say it again?
Grass, gas, or
gas
ass.
no free rides.
Grass. Like you have to have weed.
You have to have weed.
You have to be hot.
Gas money.
Gas.
Even though it's an electric golf cart.
Yes.
But no, gas is for gas money. And
The
then
ass is
Pussy.
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
Or ass.
Prostitution
Or ass.
ride. Prostitution rides.
vagina. Yes.
Depends.
Okay.
But anyway,
Would
Yeah, you're
y'all
catching on.
fuck him if he would have been like, "Hey, you could fuck me for"?
well, yeah, because it turns out he was a cop, so that would have been great. We could have
Anything-
raped a cop on the golf course.
George Michael tried to fuck a cop and went to jail.
Anything
That's
goes
true.
on the back nine.
But if we raped a cop on the golf course, I'd be more punk rock than Thomas. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that didn't happen. So
That'd be
wait,
a
so
good
did I
punk
ruin
rock
the
song.
story?
Well, it's not really. It was that all of a sudden he mentioned that he was a cop. So we let our friend drive away, and he's just like looking at us as we're fucking back here doing one hits and shit. But he's standing he was a pretty good golfer, hit it a mile. And we're like, he hit the ball pretty far. He's like, I just look down and pretend like it's a homeless person's head. And I'm like, God damn. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm going to smoke pot way away from this guy.
Oh man.
Yeah. And that was, a policeman.
Wow.
Blue Lives Matter.
Yeah, maybe we
Jesus.
should
Most people are saving a lot
hire
of money, though. You know.
better policemen.
Yeah, when I was asking a police officer friend of mine from Austin about like areas there, I asked him about. I was like, all the reviews on this apartment complex I'm looking at right now, like every review says there's a homeless encampment like right next door, and it's a problem. And he said, "Hey man, you're coming to Austin. This city's a fucking homeless encampment. Don't
Don't you
come
need an
here."
apartment? Get a tent, man.
Jesus,
Save your money.
Yeah,
don't
he was
worry,
like, the
they're all
whole
really
fucking
hot.
city is. They're all really hot.
They're all really hot. Yeah, all the homeless people in Austin are just like hot.
It's just
people.
musicians that are just living on the side of the road.
They're just saving money.
Yeah.
When we talked to Steve Byrne, he literally thought when he was driving in that there was a music festival going on. He asked the cabbie, he's like, "What's all the tents?" He's like, "Tents the fucking homeless, man." He's like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny that Tony Hinchcliffe said that in his rant. Did you guys get to watch the whole thing?
Oh yeah, the full set.
that Ari posted.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Busy.
You
It
the
made-
one that sent it to me.
I know. I was busy. I
He
didn't
sent
get
it to me
watch
and he didn't watch it.
Sorry. It's been
Yeah, well, it was one of the things he said, though, or it might have been in the.
No, it was in that because he was like, "Yeah, move to Austin, move to Austin." My friends lied to me, Joe Rogan and fucking Ron White.
Yeah.
He's like, "Move to Austin, get away from the traffic and the homelessness." And he just stood there and like, it's pretty funny. And people said he bombed. He was funny.
It was funny.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the playbook. If somebody says something that you don't like, then you say that it wasn't funny, and then if it was funny, that it would be even kind of okay. And then you say, and he just stood there while nobody laughed while he told his stupid jokes. It's like, no, it's definitely didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, and then also you got to see the guy Ping Wong or whatever was his
Ping
name.
Dang.
Pang dang.
Ping Pong.
Bang, dang.
Jesus.
Fucking. There's like
I really
9
don't know
things
his
you can
name.
get.
What is his name?
You're like, I don't know his name. Is it Tang Dong Tang Dong?
No, I
Come
did
on.
not. I did not.
You did.
Psycho
No, it's
Fucking canceled, man.
it's Ping King.
Ping.
Oh my
Ping
God.
dang.
He's the
Not
king
that
of
hard.
ping.
General
He's the
So.
king of ping.
I have a friend, an Asian friend, because I'm not racist, and I have friends that are of all different races.
Sure.
And
That's
one
what
of
they
my
all say.
friends who is Asian,
I once dated an Asian guy in college.
Asian
Go
guy,
ahead.
He's the king of ping.
and anyway, his name's Kevin So. When he first introduced himself to me, I said, "So is it?" And I was putting his number in my phone, and I was like, "Is it GSO?" And he goes, "No, everyone thinks that though."
It's just SO, just like it
I was like,
sounds.
because of General Tso's chicken. You know about General Tso's chicken, right, Kevin? Anyway, what were you saying about Ping Dong?
I was not saying anything.
Wait, did y'all watch his set though?
No, I did not watch his.
I didn't.
We'll watch it because it's horrible.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, I did. That okay. So that is what happened. I watched part of that, and then I think one of the kids like started screaming or something. I had to go take care of it. But yeah, it was pretty like basic.
You never sounded more like a pedophile than in that moment.
One of the kids was screaming. I had to take care of that little fucker.
I had to.
What are you, Chrissy
I
Teigen?
had to re-up the chloroform. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Hey, you
but yeah.
guys. Oh yeah, go ahead. Finish your story. then.
Yeah, I mean, it was just very basic, like stand-up comedy stuff. It was like I don't know, like I don't know.
Well, it was like
it wasn't that funny.
it was like a roast thing though. He was taking shots at white people on his way out. You know, if it weren't for us,
Oh,
that was kind of funny. But then Tony came out and just was throwing flamethrower.
Yeah. And was also referencing his set. It's not like he just came out of fucking nowhere. Like, what is Tony
Right.
doing right now?
Yeah, I don't want it to seem like because I don't agree with what the guy did that like I'm just saying like, oh no, he was fucking. I'm not trying to do. It's like no, there were like you said there were a couple like pretty hot points, but you could tell like he's been doing it for a few years and he's not great, but I mean he's fucking working on it. He's there. He's better than anybody we got around here.
Hey,
Yeah,
fuck
and
that.
that's but you could tell where he was going with it. Whether because his whole bit is being as shocking and offensive and hardcore as possible. But when you first saw those clips, you just saw him making soy sauce jokes and shit like that. You couldn't tell that was a callback.
No, I didn't even
Right.
understand it. Like, so when I just watched what he said, I'm like, I don't understand these jokes. This isn't making
Yeah,
sense.
I was like, did something happen in the green room that we missed?
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I thought.
yeah,
Like, was there
that's
an
what I thought.
altercation of some kind, or what? Or the like people throwing up in a bucket? I'm like, I don't get this
Yeah.
reference. What does this have to do with anything? Why? And then I felt like I was. Well, I don't know shit unless it's on comedy podcasts. You've mentioned this before. So I was like, what am I missing? Did something happen with the throwing up in a bucket? And
Yeah.
I started looking on Twitter for throwing up in a bucket. You know, I'm like, what is this? I just finally asked JB. Like,
Prepare for Pepper to roll his eyes. But my wife and I were at the Comedy Store and we saw a show where, yeah, I know. And but we were literally in the front center against, like our knees touching the stage in the main room, like against the stage. And Tony Hinchcliffe was coming next, and she was literally scared at what Tony Hinchcliffe would fucking say. And luckily, 3 people down at the stage, this dude was so pilled out that he was sleeping through the whole fucking show, and he became Tony's target for the next like 15 minutes. Tony literally got off stage and did stand up in this guy's ear while he was sleeping the whole
oh my
time.
God.
It was hilarious. Pepper gets annoyed when I talk about me going to LA.
I've just heard it 15 times. It's
Yeah.
fun.
So you're going to Austin because you're following Joe Rogan.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do have his address.
Dude, do you guys watch or listen to any Kevin Brennan recently?
You mean
Misery Loves Company.
I need another beer.
It's
I haven't in probably 3 years.
Dude, his new stuff that he is doing, you've got to check it out. All he does is shit on other comics.
Yeah.
It's I think Bill Burr called him the Bobby the Brain Heenan of comedy.
Yeah.
It's like pro wrestling, and he doesn't
I was like,
punch
people won't
down.
get that reference because he doesn't like good stuff like wrestling.
Yeah.
But
Well, he attacks everybody from Dave Chappelle. He was texting Chappelle, calling him a douchebag, and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's if you're not into, you should check out Misery Loves Company or any of those clips that are up.
yeah, I'll check it out because all I've ever heard was like how fucking bitter that guy is. That
Yeah.
Neil
He is.
was so popular.
But just listening to him shit on Neil,
He went off on Chappelle, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
too,
we were
right?
talking
that's what
about
I'm
Yeah.
but it's turned into pro wrestling, and it's right down my alley.
I enjoy that shit. Yeah, I love that. I'll eat that shit up immediately.
Bobby Kelly just attacked him somewhere, like physically attacked him at the Comedy Cellar. So
He's been physically attacked a few times.
Gary Goldman apparently beat his ass.
I'm assuming he had an issue with Earl Skakel because Earl's always tweeting at Kevin Brennan.
Earl it just hates everybody.
Earl's also very bitter, but he's nice.
Yeah, Earl's the West Coast Kevin Brennan.
Yeah.
But
I think those two get along, actually.
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Jimmy Martinez.
Oh, he jumped him too.
Yeah. Jimmy Martinez is a fucking monster too. He's 6'4" and he knows kung fu.
And did you see the clip where
Was it the
Kevin's like
1600s?
holding his arms and shit, where he's standing in front of him during a podcast? This guy's gigantic. Wait! It's crazy.
Jimmy Martinez will fucking kill you. I have his number. I call him sometimes.
That's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big fucking dude. I want that
wouldn't
guy on
hang
my
with him.
team. That's why I text him, I love you every once in a while, just to make sure he stays on my team.
Okay.
Speaking of people calling, you said that our big fan Gene called the.
So
You
So,
told
yeah,
her?
we're
I was
playing a
gonna
show-
I was gonna break the
Playing
news
a
on
show
this.
at the Celtic Irish pub.
Yeah.
This
Let's get
Saturday.
that out.
Yeah, let's say that. We're playing a show at the Celtic Irish pub this Saturday, May 22nd at, oh shit, Thomas, this is where you come in.
Eight-ish.
8-ish.
Yeah.
And,
Pascagoula, Mississippi.
you know, as one does when they're playing a show, we've been posting about it on social
I
media.
think we might have overdone it.
It reached someone it wasn't supposed to reach.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they're worried about it being at capacity now, and the Raelyn Nelson Band is the #1 artist on the jukebox right now. Like,
But that's because you guys have been playing the songs.
We're not up there.
They go down and feed like $10 in the jukebox
I know.
every
like,
day.
No.
No,
Again, Pepper doesn't go up there.
I
period.
haven't walked through those doors in at least a month.
Yeah, and I'm up there twice a week. And also, I went in there like 30 minutes ago. That doesn't make sense. An hour ago, right before we did this, and the bartender that was working that I told you about yesterday, she was like, "Yeah, some guy named Al was up here, and he was like looking at the poster because the posters are posted all over the wall up there. He was looking at the poster, and he went and searched on the jukebox, and he played like 16 songs earlier, just in a row. He's like, he was just repeating songs on the jukebox.
God, that must have been annoying.
She loved it, but she said that she's been playing it like every day for people to come in, but she also told me we got a weird phone call today, and she said I couldn't really understand the guy very much. He definitely, English is not his first language, but he kept asking. He was like, are we doing it live? Will it be live? Will it be streamed? And I was like, at first I was like, who the fuck is calling? She was like, yeah, he acted like he knew her, like it was somebody like in her family. And I'm like, calling up here? And she was like, yeah. And then it just fucking clicked with me. I was like, oh, wait, did he sound French? And she was like, I'm fucking white. I don't know the difference. And I was like, okay, well, I looked on Twitter, and the last thing he tweeted was like, you guys have to stream this live. It will be, let me put it in his word, stream live must, spectacle of all times, indeed, perhaps, rats.
You're doing it wrong.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's from an esteemed military background.
Apparently, but we asked him what his favorite airplane was, and he said a skateboard.
What's your favorite airplane? Squash.
Yeah, I can't nail that guy down.
Oh, by the way, Gene, yeah, I know you're watching right
Gene.
now. Gene, by the way, I'm a fan. I
Gene,
support
I
what
love
you do.
I love you, Jim.
Dude, he's gonna
They
get us at the
come on.
Texas Speedway, man.
Dude, I mean, we talk. I
When?
talk to him on the phone. I mean, at least
Well,
once
yeah.
a week. I have limited it to like at least like once a week because
So-
he calls a lot.
Is he calling me a rat?
No, he was saying who's going to introduce the show, who's the rat on the stage.
Oh,
Who's
And-
the comic expert is going to introduce the spectacle, ladies and gentlemen. 22nd May. It going to be a great show. Who is the rat on the stage? And then
Right.
there's
Yeah, we really got to get a new manager, Raelyn. He's
So you sounded like Mario and Luigi, but that guy
Wait
called.
till you hear a Pang Dang impression.
Yeah,
Jesus.
he's like, who's gonna introduce me? But Pepper, I told him that he called up there. He's like, yeah, I talked to him last weekend, and he was like, it's like, why? What are you doing?
Sometimes, dude. I feel. Listen, dude.
I like you, Gene.
And no offense to Gene, but I do feel like he needs an outlet. He needs to talk to somebody. And there's a lot of times where I'm not doing anything, and I could take an ear beating.
Yeah.
And just fucking. Let
He
him talk.
recommended we buy the truck from Twister and fucking host this shit on satellite Saturday.
My man's got ideas. If nothing
Yeah.
else, he has ideas.
Because he was like, kids use the internet.
It's-
Let's get the truck from
it's all
Twister and put it
kind
on
of-
satellite.
Have you guys thought about
same
using the internet for promotion?
Yeah, I think that's why we're where we are. But
Has Raelyn told y'all to interview Eddie Lee Nelson yet?
Oh, wait.
Oh,
I think I
okay.
sent this to. Okay, what are your thoughts on this, Peps?
So
Did you
I
tell
haven't-
Thomas?
I
Did you
haven't
tell
done
Thomas?
I didn't tell Thomas. So
Thomas.
Eddie Lee Nelson is obviously a Nelson. Willie Nelson's long lost son, apparently.
No,
His name
the,
again?
the true son.
The,
Oh, the true son.
well, I can't say it because it's just not.
Yeah, the true son of Willie Nelson.
Say his name one more time. please.
Eddie Lee Nelson.
Eddie Lee
Him?
Nelson.
Okay, yeah. No, I know what the name is, but Pepper, I've just noticed in this moment when he says your last name, when he says Nelson, he puts a T before the S. He's saying Nelson,
Nelson?
every single time. Nelson.
Raylan Nelson.
Yep, he just did it again. There's a T before the S. I
Here we
just
go.
noticed it. All right, and it's sorry. I just go ahead.
But yeah, he is a. I don't know. I really don't know what he's doing. Like the internet exists. You can find out things.
Does he play music?
It seems like a guy that,
Cowboy
like,
music.
Yeah, cowboy music is what he plays.
exclusively.
Okay.
And he's in the know because her uncles, Lucas and Micah,
Yeah, sure.
they're not really from Willie Nelson.
No, Lucas is Johnny Paycheck's son, and Micah. Well, at first he said that Micah was the gardener's son, and then he switched it and said that he is Mickey Raphael's son, who's my grandpa's longtime harmonica player.
Okay. All great points.
And Annie is lying.
Annie, my grandpa's wife, is
And-
lying.
And he is angry because Lucas and Micah are getting some run as Willie Nelson's sons when they're clearly a fraud.
Oh,
This gentleman needs to be on your podcast
Yeah, I
if you
think
can
you
get
guys
him.
should interview him, ask him everything. But there's been a couple of people who have interviewed him because they thought he was actually his son, and then once they get him in there and they just
They
realize
can tell that
he's-
one girl we were listening to on the road sometime. We
she
found a
was just
podcast.
laughing.
And about 5 minutes in, she's like, "Oh, clearly this guy's batshit." So
But she
Have y'all
kept
met?
it going. She kept going. No, but for a while, I mean, the FBI was watching him. I mean, it was kind of scary for my Uncle Lucas, and because he's threatening everyone on his Facebook page. He called. What did he?
Not really
Let's say what he said about me.
he's not threatening him
He
with
said
bodily
it was fake.
harm.
He said he says my dad was real,
Yeah.
but he's dead. So he's like, I'm the only true living son.
There it is, true living.
True
son.
living son. And he says I'm real, but I'm fake dildo, or my mom's a dildo. Or
I can't remember. I was a little
I didn't-
upset with
yeah,
what he
I know.
got
I
you. He
don't
called
get-
Lucas
Yeah.
a Keebler elf.
he called Lucas a Keebler elf.
That's rude.
Bird.
And
You really need to have it. I want to have him
Well,
on, but he's
my-
going to be able to trace it back.
yeah, I can't have any kind of contact
Yeah,
with my family.
I'll have him on if how about
Yeah, I understand you don't have any contact with that side of the family. That's totally cool.
how about we have him on and you send us the questions to ask him?
That's a good idea.
Mhm.
I'd
Yeah,
do
because we
that.
listened to a podcast. He likes to talk about his Cherokee mom and how he's had a lot of women.
so funny.
He loves
Every
women just
single-
like his daddy.
Every
She's a
interview
Jeep.
that starts, they go, "So tell me about your dad, Willie." And he goes, "My mama, Gracie Lee, she was a full-blooded Cherokee
And
and
from
Iroquois."
there,
It sounds
it's
like
just,
that Tim McGraw song.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
one of the worst.
Half
That
Cherokee,
one,
Choctaw.
And
Mama was
I
a
don't-
Chickasaw.
Or
Anyway.
I don't like that song.
the bird cloud song. I'm more Indianer than you.
more than all y'all.
That one's hilarious.
Best Indian song that's ever been written. Yeah,
I'll take Bird Cloud over Tim McGraw every day of the week.
Thank you.
yeah,
They should duet.
yeah.
Indian Outlaw and more Indianer than you, sort of a mashup.
That's not a bad idea.
We could probably make that happen
Maybe.
digitally.
I know Bird Cloud would do it.
Yeah, I'll hit Eddie Lee up. We can get him on the show if y'all want to prepare the questions. We'll ask him.
Yeah, we can do a
Remember
deep
that
dive and
time
try to find some contact
Do you remember that
information
time I
on.
texted Mackenzie that they should cover El Shaddai by
Oh yeah, by Amy Grant. Raelyn was trying to get Bird Cloud to cover Amy Grant.
El Shaddai. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. It's really churchy.
Clearly, they're huge contemporary Christian pop music fans from the mid '80s.
How great is our God?
Clearly,
Okay. That would be sick though if we did. I think I gotta practice like music and stuff. But Saturday night we should definitely have a prayer break and just play some fucking kick-ass worship songs just to
oh
get.
yeah, some new age shit. None of that old
Our
jive hymns.
God
Yeah.
I can put
Got some
Yeah.
God he prays from heaven.
Heaven above with wisdom.
And as Thomas and I just sit here.
Love our God is an awesome
Yeah,
God.
I'll just run the board for that one.
God.
I'll put like a cathedral effect on you
Yeah,
guys.
dude.
Yeah, angels
mean-
will sing with us.
No cap, we should do that. No.
You're
So I know Raylyn's playing her shit, but what are you guys doing opening up the show?
Were you pointing at me?
Yeah, I was
Yeah, we're
gonna
just gonna play some music.
Well, what do
Yeah,
you
I think Thomas and I are gonna have to do "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time"
Yeah,
together.
we're gonna do a
It's
duet.
on both of our lists.
Oh, nice.
I was gonna ask you if you
He plays
wanted
it in B. You're
to
gonna have to figure that out.
maybe do Creep, but I feel like
Oh.
Creep is kind of a lame ass song.
The one that I just did with Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
That
did
one,
that.
or are you
Yeah.
talking about TLC?
No, he's talking about that one.
That's all I know of the TLC.
Oh, we could do Wagon.
That's
Wheel, I
Creep
guess.
Creep by TLC, written by Michael Keaton.
Wagon Wheel, huh? Fun facts.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Michael
What'd you
Keaton
just
wrote
say?
Creep Creep by TLC.
Is that true?
Michael
Batman's
Keaton?
Michael Keaton, Beetlejuice. He wrote
That
Creep
guy?
Creep. Yeah,
Fact check.
yeah. I made
Yes.
all that up.
Okay. thank
None of
you.
that's real.
All right.
I thought Alan Thicke wrote it.
He wasn't
Alan Thicke
Mr.
wrote
Mom.
We're
the
all
songs.
like for it.
Yeah.
Felt, I know it was only for 5 seconds, but it felt like for a full minute we were all just staring at Thomas like,
I don't know about this guy. But yeah, Pepper sings songs about golf and horse fucking and
Tricycles.
Hawthorne Heights
Dude,
songs.
I sent the golf song to Kathleen Madigan.
Really?
She
I
like
didn't
it?
hear anything back.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna send it to her though. But it feels weird that I would send it to her too, since I know you did. Yeah.
I'm sure she loved it.
Yeah, pile her
We
up.
loved your podcast though.
Oh my god! I think that might be my favorite episode that you guys have done. Kathleen Madigan, and she's one of those
Everybody.
people. Like she's been around for so fucking long. I kind of forgot about her because she's not like super out there on Twitter and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot. And that sparked me to like look up all her fucking old specials and a bunch of other podcast appearances. I had like a whole Kathleen Madigan week. I love that lady.
Yeah.
She's funny. I remember we were talking about people and we're talking about women comics. I'm like, we need to get Kathleen Madigan. And the same way, I was like, I'm sure she's still doing it.
Yeah.
And she came in like a house of fire.
Yeah,
God,
she was one of the
great.
first ones I remember listening to on XM, Sirius XM Raw Comedy.
Yeah. When she started talking about cheap docs, I was like, yes, let's fucking go.
Yeah, man. She's the real deal. We went and had beers with her and Jody, her manager, the other day. She's good people.
Yeah, we got drunk and smoked cigarettes with Kathleen Madigan. It was fun.
What is
Wasn't
y'all's
live,
what's
it's
y'all's
real.
opinion on Lisa Lampanelli?
What happened to her? She said that she had to quit because people were just laughing at her. Is that it?
Yeah, well,
Wait a minute. That sounds funny. But like, the
Yeah,
people
no,
were
like,
laughing at
yeah.
anything she said, even though it wasn't funny. Let me
Right.
finish.
I'm not a fan. I just didn't know where y'all stood on it. We've been rewatching a lot of like the Comedy Central roast and shit at the house.
Yeah. She
and
was
she's
funny early on and then just got to be the same kind of
yeah,
fucking black guy jokes,
I
basically.
literally get her and Judy Gold mixed up.
same guy, girl,
Yeah.
same lady.
Judy Gold bombed. Have you guys seen the Rich Voss roast?
Okay. Yeah. No. That's the lady that I don't like, right?
Yes,
Is that it?
yeah.
Okay.
She's the one that threw a fit on Doug Love's movies, and she threw Shane Gillis under the bus twice.
100% fuck that lady. So she threw my boy Shane Gillis under the bus in an article. And
For
then
what?
she
Like Me
Because-
Too movement shit.
no, because Shane Gillis he said
He's the one that said something ationally charged on a podcast.
he said that
and lost the SNL job before the season
He
started.
said
Tony Hinchcliffe. He was Tony before Tony was.
basically,
Yeah.
yeah, basically shit
but
like that.
lost much more.
Yeah, but he was already signed to SNL, and then they dropped him before the season started because of what he said.
I
on
love
Signals.
Shane Gillis.
Oh, me too. So Judy Gold came out and said like basically fuck that guy, he got what he deserved. And then a couple weeks later, and everybody was like, hey, that's kind of fucked up. Don't do that to other comedians. And then a couple weeks later, she doubled down on it and like went even fucking harder.
Right.
And she was releasing a book at the same time that was basically Like comics should be able to say whatever they want. It's like the last stronghold of free speech, all this shit. And then I listened to this is a podcast where we talk about listening to other podcasts. So I listened to her on Bobby Kelly's show, and Bobby Kelly like directly asked her about it. He was like, "What's the deal with the whole Shane Gillis thing?" And the amount of uhs and ums that came out of that bitch's mouth trying to like backpedal and explain herself out of that shit, it was ridiculous. And then there's a clip of her on Bonnie McFarlane's radio show in 2000. It was like 2014 or 15, and she is just yelling the N-word over and over and over.
What?
It's like, shut
Yeah,
the
that's
fuck
the thing.
up.
If she wasn't a lesbian, she looks like the type that would be fucking black guys, doesn't she?
Well, she was from that tough crowd
Is
era.
that
It's supposed to be, you know.
Is that racist?
Every once in a while, Raelyn, you say some shit that I'm like,
It might be, but also I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's just curiosity. I feel like as a society, we should have grace in these situations when you're just curious.
She wanted to have the Dixie flag, but we talked her into the Tennessee
That's
State
not
flag
true.
right here.
that's a good idea.
Do y'all
I
have
wouldn't
an
even
opinion at all on Tig Notaro?
Hold on, real quick. This is very funny. Forza is like a car driving video game. You can like design your own cars and stuff.
Okay.
So I made a General Lee. That'll come up later. I made a General Lee. Everything, perfect to spec except for the flag. It's a gay pride flag.
That is
That's so
hysterical.
I like that.
That's what I do all the time.
That took a good turn.
Instead of actually playing the game, I just design stupid fucking cars. I made a Dragon Ball Z car the other day that's just like it's just stupid shit. I don't know why I do that. I should actually like race and play the game.
It's a shame you're not running Tesla. Can you imagine the cars that would come out of that?
Yeah.
Gay Pride General
I don't
Lee?
know, man.
That would be amazing.
They got some sick shit already where they have like the fart noises in the car and stuff.
Yeah, but you add the gay General Lee into the fleet. I mean,
Listen, here's what I
bananas.
want
Sure,
Elon
that would be
Musk.
sick
I have
as
some
fuck.
things I want to say. I want Elon Musk to stop what he's doing and figure out how to make Zoom better. And I want him to figure like Wi-Fi issues. I want him to fix that. That should be fixed.
he's launching satellites into
I
space
want
for
him
Wi-Fi.
also to make it to where we could like play for you from your house, bass player from their house, drummer from that house, me from here, and it sounds like live. He should be able to be this is the stuff he should be working on.
Yeah.
I want him to create a speculum that goes into the woman's vagina at a pap smear, make it a lot more comfortable. Shouldn't it be like it could be like skin material now? It's 2021.
Yeah,
I have
pretty
ideas.
colors at least.
I want to have a conversation with Elon because I have some ideas.
There's three guys like, scapula, okay.
From internet stuff. Well, I mean, I know.
How do you
what
at
that is from
Zoom?
porn.
How do you at Zoom? But then the speculum came in.
Yeah, that was
Clip it.
a left turn.
Racker.
Hey, speaking of the that flag we're not supposed to be talking about, when we were doing the thing with Kathleen Madigan, the shoes I was wearing, I could smell that my cat had pissed on them,
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's the worst.
and so I went next door to
Her
the.
cat had pissed on them.
Oh yeah.
No, really,
You
it was
know.
the cat.
Okay, anyway.
So I could just smell it. It was horrible. So I took the shoes off and threw them over in a corner, and then went next door to the
Cooters.
Cooters. It's like the
It's
the
the,
general. It has a huge
The
general.
Dukes of
Lee in
Hazzard
front. Yeah.
gift shop
Yeah.
kind of
I've
thing.
been to that
Gift shop.
place.
Yeah.
I walk up to the guy and I'm like, hey, I need some flip flops. Do you have some sort of flip flops or something? He goes, well, they have the Dixie flag on them. I don't know if you want to, And I was like, let me go look at them. And I went. It was just soap. It wasn't even a flip flop. It was one of those slide in, like the Adidas slide ins, except it was just the flag on top. So I couldn't spend $14 on racism. See, I'm not
$14?
racist. Yeah, $14 at the.
It didn't have anything to do with the Dixie flag. It had to do more with the 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it is
It's a
gift
novelty
shop.
store.
Yeah.
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 Whatever.
I've been to that place. My dad's a racist, so I've been there as a kid.
It's a good looking flag. It's a good looking flag.
I hate to say it. That flag, the Nazi flag, is a piece of work, man.
Pretty fucking
Yeah.
sick.
Pretty
dude.
fucking cool.
The
At
Nazi
one-
flag?
Yeah, one
Flags are
time when
pretty
punk
lame,
rockers
in my
could wear that shit and get away with it and not be white
Oh,
supremacists.
Okay.
But the swastika is a
Yeah,
cool looking
got
thing.
it. I was
It's
like,
fucking sick.
I was like trying to picture the Nazi flag and couldn't do it.
And then they
Yeah.
had the
Oh,
eagle,
I
the
love it.
eagle on top. That's a
There you
good
go.
looking eagle, dude.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame.
All right.
Anyway,
Hey, JB and Pepper, I think there's a whole nother podcast on y'all's market.
We just talk about
actually, we kind of got to wrap it up. Me and Pepper have a meeting to be at here.
Shit. Make sure the fucking dryer's done.
Fuck. All right.
Well,
I mean, shit, that's an hour right there.
Yes, sir.
We could end it on white supremacy if you'd
I don't
like.
end it on.
Let's end it on a better note. Let's just what
Our God.
You want to do a quick fucking?
God he raised.
We can do a quick like lightning round Rushmore.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do
Think
that.
of a random topic. We'll throw a Rushmore. around the
Legally, we
circle.
have to do a Rushmore. If we.
Well, what if we did very quickly the comedy podcast or the Rushmore of comedy podcasts?
Sure.
And of course, ours is going to be on the list, but we won't say those.
Like 1A and 1B would be Rushmore and Music is Funny.
But,
Clearly
yeah.
the top spot.
So let's do our 4, 3, and 2 around the circle. Pepper, you go first.
I'm gonna go with Danish and O'Neill podcast.
All right, I'm gonna go with the retired Prince and the Wolf, Freddie Prince and Josh Wolf.
Number 4 for me, I'm going to go with Nikki Lazer's podcast.
I think I would go with my new favorite, Misery Loves Company with Kevin Brennan.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I love pro wrestling.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with Kill Tony.
All right, number 3, I'm gonna go with Whiskey Ginger with Andrew Santino, who will not do our show.
I'll go with Two Bears, One Cave.
Bad Friends.
I knew you were going to want that one.
All right, number 2. Not a lot of people know about this show. It's not like hipster or whatever. It's I don't know. It's not very popular. It's a podcast called Oral Presentations, where some guy with the worst like Jersey accent you've ever heard tells you about history and other fun stuff. It's really good. It's called Oral Presentations with Chris Wood. Amazing podcast.
Is it funny?
Yes.
Yeah, he's really good. He's in some of the Shane Gillis, McKeever sketch type shit. My number 2 is going to be Bad Friends with Andrew Santino, who will not do our show.
Yeah, okay. If we can double down, I'll say Bad Friends.
Well, I'll be the one for
I've been
mine
trying to get
jump in.
Pepper into Bad Friends for a while, and he's not
Skeptic
biting.
Tank.
That's what my next one, Skeptic Tank.
Yeah, Skeptic
My
Tank.
man,
Yeah.
Armin.
Damn.
Ari Shafir.
Sorry.
All right, so my number 1 on my Rushmore of comedy podcasts. Sorry, it's gonna have to be Come Down.
Ugh.
It hits me harder than any other podcast. Stav got bit by a cat on the last episode I listened to, and I wrecked a car that I was playing a video game. But
So it
You
happens to
wrecked
me
the
every
gay
day.
General Lee.
yeah, I wrecked the gay general.
My number 1, welcome back, Chris D'Elia. Congratulations.
Good for you, buddy.
We'll just skip over that one. And my next one, I'm gonna go with Kathleen Madigan's Pubcast. Is a good one, and then yeah, I think that's.
I'm going to go with non-comedy by a comedian, Part of the Problem, Dave Smith.
Yes,
Love
shit.
that shit.
Hey,
oh, that's great. There's too
Shouts
many
out.
good ones.
shout out Libertarian.
He has retweeted me way too many times. I like that.
Dave
guy.
Smith?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
we go.
cool.
He's-
Nate
Uh,
Bargatze's is really good too.
All right, now
There's so
you're
many,
getting
like,
off
I just
topic.
can't-
We
Well,
you had
no,
your-
now we do honorable mentions. Doug
Crashing
Stanhope
Horses.
podcast for sure.
Doug Stanhope's
Doug's.
great.
About last night with Adam Ray.
True.
And,
Big and
Matt
Hungry.
and Shane's secret podcast.
I need
Great
to send you the song that I did for them, by the way.
Big and Hungry with Steve Byrne and Brian Callen.
oh yeah, Brian Callen won't return my calls, you guys.
What the fuck? I'm gonna call him as soon as we're done here and be like, call this motherfucker right now.
The chatting average is an Atlanta Braves podcast that I listen to.
That's stupid.
That's not cool.
That's really
I haven't
bad.
listened to any yet, but
Oh,
cocaine and rhinestones.
Oh, that one's really good.
I haven't-
Cocaine and
haven't
Rhinestones.
listened.
What's that? Those are two things I like.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll have to go back. He just started season 2, but season 1 is phenomenal.
It's basically David Allan Coe's son telling depraved stories of classic country music.
He's a good Twitter
way
follow
back.
too. Tyler Mahan Co. He's a great Twitter follow. You'll like it.
Our friend
He's the one that did your band sucks. I don't know if you remember that
Yeah,
podcast.
Your favorite band sucks. That's a great podcast too. I mean,
I like this.
all the bands that everyone loves.
they just get on
hate
and shit on Weezer and Van Halen and everybody that's great.
the
That can,
Beatles.
yeah.
our friend Luke Couch, who looks like if Pepper evolved, is a huge Willie Nelson fan, by the way. He actually told me he has a rolled up Willie Nelson poster from seeing it at the Beau Rivage here in Biloxi, like, I don't know, 6 years ago or some shit like that. And he was like, would it be super fucking like lowbrow of me to ask Raelyn to either sign it or get Willie to sign it? And
Also,
I told him
my grandpa's name on it.
I had no fucking clue. And then what was my point? What were we talking about? Oh, he was
I can
telling me about
find
that
his name really
podcast.
well.
The last like 5 times I've seen him, he has told me to listen to Cocaine and Rhinestones, and I have not taken his
Listen to it.
recommendation.
It is good.
It's good. And follow him on Twitter. You guys will like him. And Pajama Pants podcast with the Sopranos kids. Rob, and their real names are Rob and Jamie Lynn Sigler, and then
Willow and the little bit and
Meadow, and
Willow Blossom.
Same
AJ,
shit.
right?
Yeah.
That's what their names are in the
Yes.
show. But they're grown up now, and Rob is a huge fan of Your Mom's House, which is also a great podcast.
Yep.
And so is Christina Pease, where my mom's at.
And
We've
Dr.
just
Drew
named, like,
After Dark.
37.
Dr. Drew After Dark.
Yeah.
Our Rushmore of comedy podcasts have to have 37 people
Yeah,
on
I
it.
mean, you do honorable mentions and you don't
Dr.
wanna leave
Drew's,
out anything.
King and the Sting, Theo, Vaughn.
Yeah, half of that show is really good.
The 31 with Brant Tobler, incredible show. Craigslist Chaos is my favorite. Legion of Skanks, sometimes.
Yeah, I'm hit or miss with that, but I
Yeah.
always check it out just to see.
Oh,
What do you
and,
do with Ron Sickler?
None of us said Joe Rogan.
That's not really a comedy show anymore.
He's also completely fallen off the map since he went to Spotify.
I agree. I used to listen to every single one, and
Same.
now I listen to only the ones that are like Dave Chappelle. And
Yeah. And even
Jimmy
those,
Lovato.
I'm like, oh, I really want to hear that. And then I forget about it for 3 fucking weeks because I'm not
Spotify
looking on Spotify for podcasts.
Sucks. It's a bad app for podcasts.
Yeah, it's not great. Okay, last thing before we let you guys go. What is who's your favorite comedian guest that you've had on your podcast?
I'm going to, my favorite comedian guest we've
You
had.
can give me 2 if you can't.
Yeah, I would say probably.
How about this? One of your favorite.
One of your favorites.
I would say
Like
the best
like
chemistry
that.
we've had is probably Brad Williams or Jeff Dye. But I would say that my favorite is Brian Callen. He's just such a good fucking dude. I'm going to go with Brian Callen.
I'm going to go with Ryan O'Neal and Ari Shafir the second time.
Yeah, Ari's also great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kathleen Madigan and Ari Shafir for me.
Yeah, I'd go Kathleen, Ari, and Doug Stanhope
I know,
are kind
Ari-
of a toss-up.
We've talked about
Because
this before.
Stanhope's
Like,
a fucking
those are the-
legend, you know.
Yeah, and he was so sweet and great. Yeah.
And he took a piss on live podcast.
Yeah, he gave us like a tour of his fucking camp.
Yeah.
Whenever we had
his
him on.
weird acid fucking.
We should all go to Bisbee together sometime.
Yeah, one day we'll
I'd be
all
down
go to
with that.
Bisbee and do shrooms with Doug Stanhope.
Let's do it for the Super Bowl next year. Let's all go watch it in Bisbee.
Love it.
Okay.
Maybe down.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. We
Today.
transitioned from white supremacy to podcast.
There we go. We did a great job.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Love you
I'll
guys.
see you Saturday. Hey, let's go live or something on Instagram in a couple of days, just for
All right.
fun.
Well, we
Sounds
have
good
to
to me.
broadcast it from satellite. We'll figure it out.
We'll get Gene. We'll get Gene to set it up.
Gene's got a truck he's bringing, I guess. I don't, we'll see what happens. If
Oh,
Gene
and Thomas,
shows
I want
up,
you to be my booking agent. Will you just be my booking agent from now on? You get 50%.
he's really good.
Yeah, I
You're
don't give
really
a fuck.
good. Also, there's these people that are really annoying the fuck out of me, and I don't want to talk to them. Will you talk to them? I'll give you 15%.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Consider me hired. I can do that.
You just got to keep him out of jail.
Yeah. As long as I'm on the streets and I got my phone on me, I fucking got you.
That's true.
All right. Love you. Love you. Love
Bye,
you.
guys.
Love you.
See you guys.
Love you.